as you can see, I didn't have the best camera angle. As I put it on the stand and sat down the drums, it immediately collapsed. But don't worry, I have some great footage I've gotten from the audience and from Instagram. I'll put that at the end of this video. And there's so many different talking points I could really go on and on about, but I just want to talk about 3 things really briefly to wrap up this video. And the first big takeaway here, and I think this is super important that a lot of younger musicians miss, and myself when I was younger, I missed this too, it's about execution and preparation. I had a really limited time to prepare. And of course I wanted to show off my stuff. Even if I had more time to prepare, I think I would have had the same approach, which is to do something very simple and basic and solid. I'd rather show up at a gig and play something simple and be rock solid, pull it off as a 9 or a 10, than play something really incredible, really difficult, and it'd be like a 6 or a 7. So it's much more important to do something simply well than to do something complex okay. And I'll talk about this maybe in a later video, but I think a big driving factor behind that when I was younger, because I lacked the self-esteem and confidence and thought I need to do this extra stuff. In reality, when I'm trying to do these extra things to prove that I'm good, it makes me sound worse. So if I just do things really simply and basic, we're cool. And I think the second thing, along with simple and basic, if I just showed up and played that gig and played like a really straight rock beat, it still would have been fine. Also realizing what can you get from these gigs, and a big part of it for me is meeting new people. It's basically like a networking, a mixer events. Some musicians show up, they play their song and they leave. Me, I stay for the whole thing. I even went out to after hours, which I never do. But being in any music community, especially being in Nashville, it's about living and participating in that community. It's about, you live here, make this your home, make friends with people, really just go and hang. Because if you can do something, if you're proficient, if you're adequate, that's oftentimes good enough if you are a good person, if you're an easy hang. If you're a great player but kind of a dick, I would rather play with someone who's an easy hang. So when you're doing these gigs, at least I know when I am, I need to focus on, I need to meet people. And sometimes it's a little bit awkward and uncomfortable because I'm not naturally extroverted, but that's okay. Lean into the hard stuff. And the last thing is about just content and about music. And as you can see with the camera falling over, doing this stuff is pretty, it can be a juggling act. We only have so much energy. And sometimes we think, that'd be great for a video. And it would be, but what do you want to invest your time and your energy into? This is something I often really assess for myself. Am I a content creator who's using music as my vehicle for content? Or am I a musician who is just, using content to showcase my musical work? So what am I focusing on? What's the priority here? And sometimes I think we can get distracted by making the priority the content and then the music the secondary thing. But it's also kind of it's a balancing act, because if you're a musician and you don't have any presence, any content out there, not as many people are gonna know you. But also, if you have so much content on there and you are just investing all your time and energy into that, not making real world connections, not working on your craft, your career can suffer as well. So I think finding a balance is really important. Everyone has different definitions of success and different definitions of what they want to do. And if you're gonna do the content stuff, it can be worth it, but also realize that it's a job and there's a learning curve and it's gonna take some energy. Creating the content for this video, it's been a little bit more time consuming, and there's also, I don't want that to be a distraction when I'm playing a gig. And it was a little bit of a distraction, but sometimes, you have to make a little bit of mistakes, learn a couple lessons. But again, instead of this video being perfect, it's done. And I may have got a shot of the floor, but you know what? It's just all part of life, all part of the journey. So I'm gonna put some clips of the rest of the gig. at the end of this video here. But again, if you like what you see, comment, subscribe. If there's something you want to see more of, let me know. If there's something you want to see less of, let me know. Really, I'm using myself just as an example of what it's like to be a musician in Nashville, kind of working your way up. Let me know what you want to see. Thanks for watching. I'm humbled by all of you out there. Enjoy highlights of the Thong Song.